It's no longer news that coding has exploded over the last 2 to 3 decades, and you see new companies coming up every day and raising millions of dollars on a daily basis. And also, many people has actually been able to make a career out of software development, and I'm assuming that you want to try it out. In this video, I'll be talking to you like someone who started from absolute scratch, and like someone who's probably confused and don't know where to start when it comes to learning to code. And so if you're confused, it's not your fault, because in a time like this, where more and more people are becoming software developers, there are a lot of information out there, and it could be difficult for you to figure out what will actually work best for you. There are lots of programming languages, new frameworks are being developed on a daily basis, new libraries on a daily basis, just to solve some of the common programming problems. And all this has led to a huge amount of choices, and have naturally made learning to code very daunting and confusing for absolute beginners. However, since I have been learning to code for some time and I've been able to navigate through the corners of the industry, here are my suggestions for anyone who wants to learn how to code. First, decide on what you want to build. This is the first place I encourage beginners to start from, okay? Because knowing exactly what you want to build will determine what programming language you're going to start with. Programming is a very broad field, and there is no one language that can be able to solve all developers' problems. Okay, so picking a particular programming language boils down to what you actually want to build. For instance, if you want to build a web application or a website, you need to start with HTML, CSS, and then JavaScript. And if you want to develop Android apps, there are some languages that are specifically designed for that. For instance, Java, Kotlin, Flutter. These are designed for Android apps development. Okay, and so if you're a game freak, like you like games and you like to develop games, okay, you can start with things like Unity, C#, C++. These programming languages will help you design games, okay, high-level system games. Okay, so choosing a particular programming language to learn boils down to knowing exactly what you want to build. So that's why I encourage beginners to actually pick what they want to build, and then go for programming language that would help them build that thing. In case you're still confused, my best suggestion for you is to start with JavaScript. You see, JavaScript is like, I see JavaScript like the king of all programming languages, because not like it's the king, I see it as the king of programming languages because you can use JavaScript for virtually almost everything. You can use JavaScript for desktop app development. You can use JavaScript for web development, both front end and back end. You can use JavaScript for mobile app development. You can even use JavaScript in blockchain programming. So you see, if you're looking for one programming language to start with, then I would suggest you start with JavaScript. If you have finally decided on what you want to build, the next step is to draw a clear roadmap. You see, roadmap will stand as a GPS to your learning path. It will guide you through your learning, or at least at the beginning stage of your learning. It's important that you develop a roadmap, because once you start your learnings, you start getting lots of video suggestions on YouTube, and you start seeing lots of articles concerning different programming tricks and different programming tips. And without a clear roadmap, you end up watching all these videos and reading all these articles, and you end up in what is called tutorial hell, where you keep on looping from tutorial to tutorial without actually progressing to the next level. Okay, so it's important that you draw a clear roadmap. Although I know that at the early stage while you're starting, you might not actually know what you want to learn and how to draw a clear roadmap. So usually what I do is this: I suggest to beginners to visit places like fullstack.com or springboard.com. These are online boot camps, so you can request for their online curriculum. I'm not saying you should pay any money for the boot camp. So what I'm saying is, all you need is to input your email address and your name and click submit, and they'll send you a copy of their curriculum to your mailbox. So you can download the PDF of the curriculum and then go through the learning parts. For Springboard, that's like a 9-month learning curriculum. So what you then do is this: you can go to YouTube and search for videos that's in line with what is in the curriculum. So focus on the curriculum and see if you can be able to cover everything that has been outlined there, because that curriculum has been outlined by professionals. Okay, so if you have decided on what you want to build, you have designed or you have drawn a roadmap for yourself, the next thing to do is to find a good learning resource. You can learn to code through books, through videos, through blogs and articles online, and through courses, through boot camps. So there are numerous ways you can learn to code. So the best thing to do is to choose what works best for you. Okay, so at the early stage when you're starting, I usually encourage and advise beginners to go through YouTube and watch maybe 1 or 2 videos on YouTube and see if programming is actually what they want to do with their life before you start investing money into it. So if it is what you want to do, the next thing to do is to figure out your best learning resource. If you like books, you can There are lots of numerous books that can be downloaded online for free. And if you like JavaScript, I think I made a video about the best books on JavaScript and how to download them for free. So I'll link the video here and I'll add a link in the description below, so you can check that video out after this one. And if you like videos, definitely YouTube is the first place that's going to come to your mind. Okay, but the problem is, if you're just starting out, you're going to be confused because of the numerous information you're going to see online, numerous videos, books, and suggestions from different kind of persons. Okay, so this can actually get you confused. Okay, but you have two options here. You can either continue to figure things out yourself, or you can go to Udemy and get a course on Udemy where the instructor is going to hold you by hand from beginner stage to intermediate level. Or you can just buy maybe a book on the particular programming language you want and read the book cover to cover. Okay, so once you have picked a learning resource, the next thing here for you is to focus on your track. When you're starting to learn to code, many things are going to contend for your attention because there are lots of shiny objects in the industry. Okay, so even if you want to get a course on Udemy, you're going to see different courses from different instructors, but basically they're all the same. All of them are trying to solve one single problem. Probably if you search for JavaScript, you're going to see numerous JavaScript courses from different instructors, but what they are all trying to do is to teach you JavaScript. Okay, so I'll encourage you, or I'll advise you, if you want to buy any course on Udemy, go for courses that are bestseller or highest rated. Okay, so, and also read the reviews and see how many persons are taking the course and what they are saying about the course before investing your money into it. And if you have finally decided to buy a particular course, I will encourage you to put all your time and focus into that very course. There is no need of jumping from one course to another because basically all of them are trying to teach you the same thing. I want to point this out. It's not going to be a smooth ride, and programming is hard. I'm not saying this to scare you. Okay, there are going to be ups and downs, and sometimes you might even want to quit, which is my next point, that you have to be consistent. While learning to code, especially at the early stage, everything is not going to be clear to you, and you might not even be able to understand everything at once. This is totally normal. Okay, but if you stick at it, as time goes on, you're going to start, this is going to begin to unfold, and they're going to be clear to you, and then you're going to be able to understand, and you'll be able to connect the dots on how things work together. Okay, so at the early stage, you're going to struggle. This is totally normal. But if you stick at it, if you continue being consistent, coming back, showing up on a daily basis, you're going to be comfortable as time goes on. Okay, so you're also going to run into roadblocks. At times, some problems you might not be able to unblock yourself. Okay, so at this point, there are some online communities like Stack Overflow and GitHub. You can just plug in the questions or the challenges into Google or into Stack Overflow, and you're going to see help from other persons. Okay, so I will also advise you, when you start learning to code, you can either join a community, maybe meetups within your area, or join some online communities on Discord where you can be able to share your problems, because definitely you're going to get blocked. You're going to get blocked. Like, there are some problems you might not be able to solve by yourself. You need someone to help you. So by the time you join these online communities and you start meeting people, when you face this kind of problems, you have people that will be able to help you. Also, when you're starting out at the early stage, it might be difficult for you to be consistent learning to code because, one, you have not built coding as a habit. Okay, so I will also advise you, you can join challenges like the 100 Days of Code Challenge, where you code at least a minimum of 1 hour a day and you tweet your progress on Twitter. Okay, so this is actually going to watch your progress, and it's going to make you committed, and it's going to make you consistent. Okay, so if you struggle to be consistent on learning to code, then I would advise you to join the 100 Days of Code Challenge. Tweet your progress daily on Twitter so that other persons can hold you accountable. And lastly, I want to point out that all the steps that I have outlined in this video are basically for self-taught. There are other alternative ways to learn to code, like through paid online bootcamps and going through college degree. Okay, so but talking about which is best for you is outside the scope of this video. Okay, probably that will be a video for another day. But if you're trying to teach yourself how to code, I guess these steps is going to be very useful and very important to you. Okay, so finally, I hope you find this video very useful. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscription button below and smash the like button and hit the notification bell so that if I put that new video like this, you're going to get notified. Okay, so if there is any part you're not clear in this video, please feel free to use the comment box below. I'll be willing to answer all your questions. Okay, so thank you and see you next time.